Hey there, Pisces! Welcome back to my channel. If you enjoy my readings, please be sure to like and subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know if this reading resonates with you. So today we're going to do a love narcissistic tarot reading, and we're going to do it with the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Alright, so the hummingbird, okay, so the hummingbird is, whoops, there's two cards there. Alright, so we got the hummingbird and the owl, so that's interesting. So the first card is the hummingbird, which will let you go off what you need to be, it says, the card in the south represents that which you need to let go off. What needs to be shed, like old skin, alright? It's an old wound that you no longer need to be defining yourself by. And then the owl is the card in the west, which represents a part of you that needs to die. An old story that needs to be let go. And then we got the wind. And this card seems to be popping up a lot. And it says that it represents the wisdom that you need to acquire. Alright, and then your final card is the lower world. The nether realm. Alright, so that's pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and start with this first card, the hummingbird, number 26. What you need to let go off. Alright, so it says, despite being so little, the hummingbirds are great journeyers, migrating between North and Central or South America to feed from the summer nectar. This gentle creature can be fiercely territorial to protect its home. The hummingbird teaches us to be gentle to ourselves and to protect our personal space. The hummingbird invites you to embark on an epic quest and bypass the dung pile of old pain and hurts. Head for the flowers and learn to trust the calling that you hear ever so softly. Alright, so avoid those dung piles, okay? We're not taking no shit. Okay, and then it says for the owl, which is number 39, the medicine. The essence. Alright, so this card is in the, something that you need to let go of. Represents a part of you that needs to die. Okay, that's kind of harsh, but that's what it says, so I'm going to go with it. Alright, this is a symbol of the myth maker and the storyteller, who is neither made nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, and perceives all aspects of it. In so doing, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, and sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not to be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. This is the symbol, this is the symbol of the true alchemy. For the elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When you remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. Alright. And the invitation, which is a whole nother page, says, when the mystical shaman appears, you're invited to consider the ability to live without attachment. You are called to create a dream, your life, to act on inspiration and divine impulse without fixating on the known story of success or achievement. Alright? In other words, what everybody else feels is a success, it may not make them happy. Just because you become rich doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be happy. Alright? So you can impartially observe the stories that you tell yourself and others. What if you could become a mystery to yourself? Who would you become if you stopped telling the tales that have defined you up until now? You do not have to live in this story that has roots in your past. What if there was no need to explain you to anyone, not even yourself? The way to your most extraordinary life is to become a blank slate and allow the form of your dreams and desires to show up as it will. This is a sign of manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. Alright, so I think that this basically is saying that, what we're taught in school and by politics and religion and things of that nature is what we are doing in our life. And if you want to overcome that and become who you really are, you have to let go of all that you've attached yourself to in the past. And this is very difficult. This is very difficult to do. But especially if you had a painful past, it's not that difficult to let it go. Alright, and then we also have the wind, which is card number 63. And it says, the symbol of the wind represents the element of air. Alright, this particular card is in the location of north, which represents wisdom that you need to acquire. Alright, so the symbol of the wind, and this is the third or fourth time I've had this card in this location, so you're not the only person who's feeling this, okay? The symbol of the wind represents the element of the air, the ruler of communication, through song and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of us in our four directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. The south carries a new sense of trust, helping you to gently begin to discard bad habits and parts of you that no longer are needed. The west is calling you to a more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment and ego and desires. North is moving to bring you the wisdom and strength. East is carrying the clarity of the vision and the purpose. Alright, it says whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but when you find the exaltation in moving forward, in moving toward it and receiving its lessons. So the invitation says, when the spirit of the wind comes calling, it is a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic, and not that you've gained a greater clarity, or you can make a new choice regardless of what the change is. You can expect to be understood and to have clear communications with others at this time. Ideas are solid and they shift, and the shift that is being called for is for the highest good of all, for the greater good. I don't really like the whole greater good thing. A lot of bad is done in the greater good. Alright, so let's take a quick look at your final card, which is the lower wind, the lower world. And it's number 31, just in case that number has any significance for you. The essence. The lower world holds the hidden treasures of the humanity. It is a place of rich and fruitful darkness where we can find the disowned parts of ourselves and abandoned aspects of our psyches. Alright, so this is your shadow self. The lower world is the place of our ancestors, where we discover the gifts and the lessons from the past. It is the realm of the collective unconscious. Here we can meet our demons and transform them into pure energy, the source of personal power. The invitation. It is time to unearth your hidden treasures. Do not make yourself small in order for others to like you or accept you. Bring out the gems and precious stones that you have kept inside your heart, hidden even from yourself. It's time to honor your past and recast your life as a heroic quest. As you journey into the lower world, you will be offered all of the gifts of your ancestors, the struggles, the way that they hurt, the way that they lived, and the way that they died will become blessings. Okay, so I feel strongly about your shadow self, and when it says your demons, and I'm not saying I don't believe in demons, but your demons are things that happen to you that you've buried. Issues within your soul that you may not even remember it. You know, a lot of bad things happen to us and we just bury it. We don't even want to think about it because it's so detrimental to us. But it's important to know how those things affected us. So if you feel like your past is affecting you in a negative way, then it's important to take those tests online that tell you about your shadow self, because what it will do for you is it will help you to overcome those hurdles in your life. Alright? And so I hope this reading resonates with you. If it does, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like a personal reading, please be sure to message me and let me know. And thank you so much for your time.